Have you ever wondered about how the very first structure, marking a remarkable height in every country, would look like in present days? It is obvious you can, but that is if it still maintained its initial beauty after it was completed, considering tons of maintenance works that has been carried out years after years. Talking about the first stadium in Africa with a glorious creation and activity past, one would thought to be owned by one of Africa's biggest economic countries like Tanzania, South Africa, Madagascar, Egypt, Kenya, Morocco, Namibia, Ethiopia, Mauritius, Seychelles and many others, because sports facilities are more than just venues for sporting events. I had always been curious of how some first structure in the world, majorly Africa, would look like compared to structures in other parts of the world, like the world has been in existence beyond my imagination, setting aside stories from holy books and other books. But my question remains, how could these historical structures withstand the test of time? During the top 10 ranking of the most beautiful stadium in Africa as at the year 2024, imagine a single country like South Africa having to top the chart with 5 architectural masterpiece sports facilities that showcase the creativity and ingenuity of African designers and builders, followed by Egypt, Tunisia, and Morocco. Even the expected country couldn't own the subject of this video. And guess what, guys? Welcome to today's exploration of a landmark that resonates deeply with Nigerians' cultural and sporting identity, the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium in Ibadan. This iconic stadium, initially named Liberty Stadium upon its inauguration in 1960, stands not just as a testament to architectural prowess but as a beacon of historical significance, named after Chief Obafemi Awolowo, a towering figure in Nigerian politics and nationalism. The stadium has witnessed decades of sporting triumphs, cultural celebration and national unity. Now, as we stand here in rivers of its majestic beauty and rich history, let's dive into the basics of this story. Ibadan is a city located in southwestern Nigeria and also the capital and the most populous city of Oyo State in Nigeria. It is the third largest city by population in Nigeria after Lagos and Kano. Ibadan had been the administrative center of the old western region since the early days of the British colonial rule. Historical and attractive places in Ibadan are Bowa Store, Cocoa House, University of Ibadan, Mapo Hall, Agodi Garden and few others. But here are some questions that resonate through its legendary halls. How did this stadium become a symbol of Nigerians' journey towards independence and unity? And what role did this play in shaping the nation's sporting scene, from hosting international football matches and nurturing local talent? But beyond its solid walls and brightly lit field, what stories are hidden within its very foundation? Stories of joy, determination, and the shared dreams of an entire nation. It was a bright day and a very hot afternoon, like the sun was really hot, when I decided to take a tour of the so-called Liberty Stadium in Ibadan. Since I was already in the city, I reached out to a family member of mine and also to some friends within the neighborhood, both indigene and non-indigene, if they would like an hangout for a few hours, and they all optioned for a yes. While we linked up to eat the road to the spot, I became so excited that I couldn't stop mentioning the word wow countless times based on how cool it's going to be to move around with people and have fun together, and maybe get some few tips on what to expect at the sports facility. We had our entrance through a bit damaged gate, actually the main entrance, and to my surprise, this entrance has no security guard, neither any form of access control. Immediately I entered, I could see a lot of kids playing a mini football match famously called Monkey Post in Nigeria at some corner. Monkey Post is a mini football match played at almost everywhere in the world, which consists of 2 or 3 players on each side with usually 5 feet count posts made with either slippers or stone, having several other teammates ready to play after just 1 or 2 goals is being scored from an opponent. My friends were already giving me some positive vibes being my first time of visiting the sports facility. I was told that other sports events like taekwondo, swimming, tennis, boxing, archery, dance, and more takes place within the premises. But most importantly, I witnessed a group of dancers having their dance rehearsal and social media shoots right on the spot. I met with them and introduced myself while I asked if I could record a beat while they danced, and they said no problem. And here I am inside the historical African masterpiece that shows Nigeria into the world sports space, the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium, famously known as Liberty Stadium, Ibadan. The 60-and-6 Obafemi Awolowo Stadium in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria, was opened in 1960 during the tenure of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who was serving as the Premier of the Western region at the time. It was named Liberty Stadium in honor of Nigeria's independence in the year 1960, constructed by direct labor under the supervision of the Regional Ministry of Works and Transport. The stadium was the central location for sports in the old western region of Nigeria. It was sited at the southern end of Ibadan in 1960, near the summit of a hill and located close to a bypass that led to the Ibadan-Abeokuta and Lagos Express Road. Not long enough, I decided to walk through and have a feel of this place. This day happened to be the same date a school is observing their inter-house sports event, so a particular portion of the stadium was crowded by students, and there were huge amounts of sound coming from music being played and noise from people. Record has it that this stadium hosted Nigeria's first floodlit match when the then Western Region team, Western Rovers, beat Portuguese Guinea, now Guinea-Bissau, 3-2 on 11th October 1960. When on this event, I witnessed the feature of a common football stadium and how it should look like, from the fan sitting area, shirt cover, VIP sitting area, floodlights for evening matches, display LCD board, track race section, and not forgetting the football playing ground and many more. I maximized the time I had to visit other sports centers within the facility, while I proceeded to the swimming pool area, called the Corombi Swimming Pool, but I was denied access to see the place due to a non-membership status in the swimming club, but no offense anyway. I proceeded to see the tennis court, but to my second shocking surprise, the whole place looked so chattered and not in proper order. But to my amazing surprise in the moment, not until this day I met a tennis coach named Moses, who told me that this is actually the first standard stadium built in the whole of Africa. In my mind, I was like, okay. Obafemi Awolowo was a Nigerian statesman, nationalist, and political leader. He played a major role in Nigerian fight for independence from British rule. Awolowo was the first premier of the Western region from 1954 to 1960, where he introduced free primary education and free healthcare for children. As a strong advocate of federalism, he believed in the unity of Nigeria's diverse ethnic groups. Awolowo founded the Action Group Party, promoting economic development and social welfare, despite facing political obstacles, including imprisonment in the year 1960s. His legacy as a visionary leader endures in Nigeria today. With few things being said and this part to be also mentioned, the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium, formerly Nigerian Wembley, had received several promises from the federal government of Nigeria and state government of Oyo State to be restored back to its old glory, but till date, no single sign of renovation had been spotted around the area. However, the stadium has fallen into disrepair with declining facility and infrastructure. To address this, the Nigerian government can implement a public-private partnership (PPP) model to revitalize the stadium. This approach has been initiated through a collaboration between the National Sports Commission and 4444 Football Academy, aiming to transform wasted sections of the stadium into modern football facilities. By engaging private investors, the government can ensure sustainable funding and maintenance of the stadium. This strategy not only restore a historical landmark but also promote grassroots sports development, create employment opportunities, and boost local economies. Reviving the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium through such partnership can reignite Nigerian sporting spirit and honor its rich heritage. And that's just a glimpse of the journey. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. Follow me on all social media platforms for more untold stories and adventures. The journey continues right here in the same next video. Thank you.